What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and I'm joined by Nick, and we are here for the first video of our Destiny 2 series. So we're going to be having several videos, as I talked about, for Destiny 2, all throughout this week and into next week. This video does count for the Destiny 2 giveaway, so make sure if you want to win the game, you go on that video, leave a comment, and then come to this or any of our Destiny 2 stuff, content, and leave a comment on this video as well. So Nick, in this video we're going to be talking about the beginner's guide, our beginner's guide for Destiny 2. We're going to do a lot of other different kinds of guides and different playthroughs of Destiny, so we're going to have different kinds of videos. But in this one, we're going to talk kind of just from a beginner's perspective. So this isn't tips and tricks, that's a different video actually. This is, you're just going into the game, and Destiny 1 sold extremely well, had a lot of players. I didn't play it. Nick played it, and then he got out kind of before the DLC. So we're not like veterans of Destiny. We haven't really played the game that much. So this kind of video is going to be geared towards you're heading into Destiny 2. It's a big deal. A lot of people are buying it. It's a big game in early September. What do you need to know going in? So we're going to kind of bounce back different things we think that you guys should know going in. Again, we're not guaranteeing that you don't know any of these things. Don't take this as like, everything we say is this brand new thing. These are just important things that we think you should know. So Nick, what are some things that we want them to know going in?
The first decision you're going to be faced with is picking what class you want to start the game with. And the three choices you have are Titan, Hunter, and Warlock. I'm not going to go into detail on all the subclasses that you get off of these classes, but basically what you're going to want to do is try to just pick one based on your playing style. The Hunter is more fast-paced, agile, shoots with pistols and snipers. The Warlock uses magic, and the Titan's just your, old, reliable, shoot 'em up, destroy everything, big weapon. Again, you don't have to stress that too bad because you can pretty much do anything with any of the classes. It really just, has to do with like super moves you can pick. Okay, then once you get into the game, after you get through the tutorial, you're going to be faced with Destiny's system and how it works, the RPG system it works in. So the two things that are kind of confusing if you've never played Destiny before are the weapon types and the loot system. So we're going to start off with the weapon types and then go to the loot system. The weapon types, I know it's different from Destiny 1. There's three types of weapons. You have kinetic, energy, and then power weapons. The kinetic weapons are just your, what you're going to use most often. Any gun can be a kinetic type. It has no other damaging other than just base damage. Then you're going to have energy, which all the elemental damage types are going to be there. And you can have any type of weapon in either of those categories. Pistols can be in both, but like anything, it doesn't matter. Just elemental being one and regular being the other. And then power weapons are where certain weapons go, like swords, shotguns, kill is going to go in that. Now that you understand the weapons, now it's time to explain how the loot works in Destiny. Destiny's loot is pretty simple compared to all RPG games I've ever played. There's three main resources you're going to have to know. First is Glimmer. This is easy. It's just the currency in the game. You don't have to pick this up or anything. Every time you kill an enemy, it'll automatically be added to your character's inventory. That's what you use to buy weapons and armor and stuff like that. And then, the second most common, I'd say, way of getting loot is through chests. Now, at lower levels you don't really get anything great from them, but if you finish a boss battle or something like that, or find a really fancy one, then you can get some good loot from it. You're going to want to look out for these everywhere, because that's where you're going to get a bulk amount of your loot early on. And then the third way you can get loot is actually dropping. It'll be almost like a round ball. Can be green or purple, depending on the rarity. Green, blue, or purple, depending on the rarity. And you actually have to run over and pick those up. You don't have to press any button, just run right over them, and your character will pick them up and it'll be added to your inventory.
So, and what Nick was talking about too, loot, obviously that is an important part of this game. That's really how you gain your power by swapping lower leveled really items with higher leveled items. And when there's different ways of doing this, obviously. Just killing people and picking up what they drop, and oftentimes they do drop several things. That obviously is one way, but in terms of exploration, that word is very important. Exploration in this game is big. You know, you get a sizable playground to kind of run around in. You know, there's different kinds of missions you can do, which we'll talk about, and that is your best opportunity to really beef up your character. That's when you're going to find the most chests. That's when you're going to find what Nick is kind of much better at finding than I am, and just the hidden things around the map where you can kind of like mine them, bring them to a separate guy, and he gives you rewards for them, which gives you much better items in general. So being aware of your surroundings and taking the time, even though it is a first-person shooter, it's fast-paced. You want to kill enemies. You want to really be in the fighting. Sometimes to take that step back and look around the world, look for that hidden chest. Although, like Nick said, chests, they'll give you some good stuff, and they'll give you a lot of things you can use for rewards. They're not the best, but like he said, killing bosses and getting those chests, those are the most important. But then just finding things around the world really can help your character be from, a steady level. You can really elevate your character's level when you go out and really take a look at the world.
Yeah, like Alex said, you really want to look around, because oftentimes after a fight, after I've gotten like the chest that you get rewarded specifically for finishing the fight, sometimes there's little bits of loot just around on the ground that you didn't even notice that, happened when you were killing an enemy during the fight that you don't even notice. So, walk around, make sure you check, don't leave any stone unturned. Alright, the next thing we're going to talk about is the leveling system in Destiny. It looks complicated, but it's actually incredibly simple, so don't think about it too hard. So Destiny has base levels 1 to 20. Start at level 1. The highest level you can get in the game is 20. But then there's also this blue level above that level, and that's your power level. And power level is the overall rating of all your armor and weapons that you have on your character at the time. This is going to increase. I think it starts in the low like 10s and 20s. And the max value in the game, I think right now is 260, and the max it'll be ever without any DLCs and stuff is 300. So that's all that is. That just lets you know. Missions will tell you, are used based on that to tell you the difficulty level of the mission and stuff.
Right, and it's kind of important too to be aware of that mission number, right? We kind of did it when I first jumped in that. You don't really want to be in like a level 160. You can get close. I think that's important to note too. You can be close if you're a 30 power. Maybe I'm playing with Nick. He's a little bit higher, and you go into a 40 power. That's okay. You can stay within the 10, 20, 30 range and probably be fine. But if you have 30, 40 power and you're going to a 140, 160, you're going to get demolished if you expect to be the main force in that fight.
For people playing alone, doing like campaign missions alone, actually, like I've done missions where I've only been 10 below on power and I get destroyed. That extra like 10, 15 being like 5 or 10 above it actually really makes a difference, so you want to pay attention to that. And that leads me into the final bit of this beginner's guide, and that's differentiating between all the types of missions in Destiny. So Destiny 2 has the base story missions that you'd find in any game, but then there's also that you don't have to do, but they'll give you some extra skill points, so I'd recommend doing them, and they'll fill in some of the lore for the people who care about that. And then there's also going to be these blue diamond-shaped community missions on the map. These start up at random times. I don't know if there's a schedule or something, but all it takes is one person to walk there and activate it, and then anyone else can walk in and start helping to do it. These are some of the best missions. I think they get you the best loot. You're actually going to need them for quite a few different things down the road, so I'd always stop and do these whenever you see one. After those three, once you get in the higher levels, some other types of missions open up. We have strikes and patrols. Patrols are kind of weird. I don't exactly understand them. They're just all you need to know is that they give you XP like a normal mission, and they give you weapons like a normal mission. Strikes, if anyone's played Destiny 1, they'll remember those. They're basically the same thing. It matches you with 2 other people in an instance, and you go and you have to complete it start to finish. It'll be pretty challenging. There'll be a boss at the end, but the loot will be worth it. And then finally, the last type of mission, if you can call it that, we have is the Crucible. The Crucible is Destiny's PvP. I don't know if there's any other modes other than just the 4v4 modes for now. And it doesn't seem to be working at the moment, but make sure you check it out because it's it's an entire part of the game. So, and you can actually level up your single player score and level in character and everything by doing the Crucible. You could level up 1 to 20 that way if you wanted.
So that was Nick and I's beginner's guide for Destiny 2. Let us know if we missed anything or anything you would recommend to a new player going into Destiny 2. What should they know? Again, this video does count for the Destiny 2 giveaway, so if you want to win the game, again, make sure you watch this video, the giveaway video. Nick and I are going to be back every day for several days, actually, for Destiny 2 content. We're going to be covering different aspects of the game, tips and tricks, review, let's play, so we got a lot of different stuff coming up, so we hope to see you guys there.